Alright, we're gonna watch this video. Even more terrible gaming hot takes by the Act Man.
When real next-gen games come out, you'll be a footnote in a couple of months. Nobody will even talk about this game. Ever even mention it when we talk about the greats of this generation.
Game of the year, by the way.
No game of the year, no real champion, just bare minimum.
This is not a good game. It is not a 10 out of 10. No way is it anywhere near game of the year.
Game of the year winner is Elden Ring.
That's what I thought. The audio. Holy shit. Holy shit, the audio. That's what I thought. Ah!
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today, you smell what the Act Man's cooking? It's more terrible gaming hot
Destroying
takes.
my ears.
Oh, you ever take a fat dump on your steak before throwing it on the grill?
No.
That's what it smells like. So let's jump into it, all right? What do we got today?
All right.
Remember when video games had bare titties because why not? God of War used to be a series worth playing. Now Kratos has feelings.
Kratos has always had feelings. What do you mean? Kratos has a brother and like a family that died? He's always had feelings. He was a lot more immature back in the day. Like, he was literally just like, I'm gonna f people and kill people and cry about my family ever so often. But revenge. Like, he was a lot more one note and a lot more focused on his one goal, which was to defeat the other gods in Olympus. More so than caring about his family, because his family didn't exist; they were all dead. So he had no care in the world. So he's like an unhinged, like he's like the Punisher. He's just like the Punisher, or like the Punisher like was a good guy at one point, and then like his family died. Then he like lost his shit.
That's kind of gay, but hey.
Remember when Kratos used to jack off after he beat every boss and you would look at some hot porn? Now this motherfucker has feelings.
No, I don't have feelings, because feelings are gay.
Thanks for coming back with me. You didn't have to.
I am your father. I will always help, as long as I am able.
God, what a pussy. Of course the dude got feelings. That's why he's doing any of the shit he's doing. How do you go from this to this? It's such a downgrade in sex appeal. Game Freak needs to do better when they make the new Pokemon.
I'm not even gonna comment on that one.
Sometimes I hate the gaming community. It's a fucking child's game, dude. But it's a child's game starring children. There needs to be no sex appeal, except for Cynthia and Professor Oak. I will no longer play the characters of Killjoy and Raze in Valorant due to them being homosexual. Thank you for ruining my gaming experience.
Wait,
My game.
was that a post from Valorant? No, okay, it was at Play Valorant. Okay. My brain. I just saw Valorant and my brain was like, wait, what?
Gaming experience. He's just like, why did they have to be gay?
The Act Man unlocked your fucking Professor Oak kink, jeez.
Instead of penis. Remember when we could just talk about video games and we talked about why they were bad or why they were good? Can we just go back to that, please? No. If this was a Netflix show,
That'd be
Kratos'
nice.
son would be gay and Kratos Afro-American. But since it's Amazon, I think the casting will be good, but the plot will be very disappointing.
I think the same people wrote the movie or the show that wrote the actual game. That just wouldn't be the case. This is hyperbolic. This take is hyperbolic by this guy.
Boy, do I have news for you about who plays Kratos. Fucking got him. Gamers be like, we need to reduce crunch.
Oh, is Chris Judge gay? I didn't know Christopher Judge was gay. I'm assuming by the context, but yeah.
In development and complain when devs do something that reduces their workload. People who complain about crunch are just incels who hate on The Last of Us Part 2. That's gotta be that's the most obvious.
They gotta be
troll I've
joking.
ever seen.
Yeah,
Someone
there's
sent
no
me
way
this
that's real.
image up. My love for Blizzard games outweighs my dislike of and then the sound.
What the fuck? Wait, what did that say? My love for Blizzard games outweighs my dislike for sexual harassment and sexual assault The other thing is I don't know anyone personally that was harmed, so I couldn't care any less. I also pre-ordered those games before any of this. This is the problem with humanity. This single quote is humanity's issue. All wrapped into one. Did not happen to me. Keck W don't care. What the fuck is this message?
Blizzard games outweighs my dislike of. And then the sound of. The other thing is, I don't know anyone personally that was harmed, so I couldn't care any less. I also pre-ordered those games before any of this came to light. Where to begin? I don't know who on God's green
I
earth
died inside
could
reading
have
that.
written this, but they clearly wrote it to justify whatever purchases or time they spend playing Blizzard games. It's like, you don't have to justify it. Just because some bad shit happened doesn't mean you are morally reprehensible for playing a game. It's up to you if you want to boycott the company or not. I respect it either way. But like, you don't have to justify that by saying, well, I don't know anyone who was sexually assaulted at Blizzard, so fuck them. What? Elden Ring's Millennia embodies From Software's problems with women. Knock knock. Who's there? Polygon.
Also, wait, I want to comment real quick. When it comes
Anyone
to
who was sexually assaulted at Blizzard, so fuck them.
when it comes to like Blizzard, and my take on this at this point has evolved over time. At some point, I was like, if you're playing a Blizzard game or you're supporting them in any way, you're part of the problem. As time has gone on, I realized that it's not Blizzard exactly. It's the industry as a whole. Leaving to Final Fantasy XIV and realizing all the problems that are actually within Sony and the people who publish Final Fantasy XIV themselves, I realized that this is not something exclusive to Blizzard. This is something like that every AAA company, every large company is doing and has a problem with. And at that point, we're just boycotting every company, and maybe we should. But I know that there's a lot of people in life who they work their 9 to 5. They have a long, hard day at work. Maybe they have a shit life in general, and their escape is World of Warcraft, or their escape is Diablo, you know? And is it my responsibility to say, hey, you can't enjoy your life with what little time you have in the world? I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right to judge people either. I think, for the most part, as long as you're not making a post as hyperbolic as this and stating you don't give a shit at all because it didn't happen to someone that you know, that's the problem. I think that if you play a game, you play a game. And there's nothing wrong with that. And people need to stop getting mad and gatekeeping each other, because that's a huge toxic problem in the world.
Polygon who? Poly gonna give you another bad article to read? Why do FromSoft games always did either? What?
Or rewatch that part.
Elden Ring's Millennia embodies From Software's problems with women. Knock knock. Who's there? Polygon. Polygon who? Poly gonna
Problems
give you
with
another
women?
bad article to read? Why do FromSoft games always bring out like the worst opinions?
What's
in
their
everyone?
point? What's
So
their hot
it
take?
talks about Millennia, Blade of Mikola. This enigmatic warrior captured the audience from the moment she appeared, and she featured prominently in the rest of the game's marketing. But instead of becoming an uncontested favorite, she frustrated fans and revealed the limitations of From Software's imagination.
She is literally the one of the uncontested favorites of the story. She's the big three. You think of her, I think of Millennia, I think of Ronnie, and I think of see, this is how influential. I remember the girls' names, I don't remember the guy names. But there's a big motherfucker in the desert who is like 60 times the size of anyone else, who has a brain infection with cancer and like is a zombie because of this bitch. Millennia is so strong, she turned this giant hunk of a guy into a brainless zombie who roams the desert to kill people. Like, and he's fucking massive. Like, that's how fucking badass. Millennia's build-up in Elden Ring was insane, dude. She was like this god-tier character. It was so cool leading up to her.
This is a critique I have never once heard before. I mean, I've heard people complain that Millennia is a hard fight, maybe too hard for some. Definitely not me. But I've never heard someone describe it as unimaginative. It's such a legendary, iconic boss fight of the game. They made a freaking statue of her. Millennia exemplifies the way FromSoft writes women in its games. Whether bosses or NPCs you meet in the wild, these women have a shared condition. They exist in tragically declined worlds, so like every character.
Yeah, every single character in every From Software game lives in a tragically declined world, male, female, whatever you identify as. Like, their worlds are destitute and desolate for a reason.
Character in From Software games, sharing a specific brokenness, disfigurement, abandonment, and loss.
Everyone else is like that too. Also, this is the big motherfucker I was talking about. She turned this guy into a brainless zombie, by the way. This guy is a fucking hulking demon out in the fucking deserts. Because she infects him with, like, I forgot what it's called. The red corruption or some shit. It was crazy, but it was a really good part of the thing. Really loved doing it.
So
awesome.
like every character in
Yeah,
From
every
Software
character.
games,
Every
they are
character.
afflicted by gender? Afflicted by gender. And the cure for when they are obstacles instead of mutely helpful is for the player to enact succinct violence.
I feel like the person who wrote this watched other people play the game, or maybe didn't watch them play the game at all, and just came to conclusions based on their own non-objective opinions, biased opinions. Because this makes no fucking sense. I don't know, like, at all. Like, this makes no sense at all. If you played the game, you would not think this.
What the fuck is that sentence? What? You killed a bad guy. Bad guy could be a dude, could be a dude melded together with a dragon.
Hold on, Silver Chat. Gender is an affliction. Hello, doctor? I'd like to get a sick note from work. Yes, I'm afflicted with gender. I'm a woman. Can you please get me a note that says I can skip work today? What the fuck?
Guy could be a giant knight. That giant knight could be a chick. It could be a dude. You killed a bad guy. The broader gaming community usually reacts harshly towards female characters.
Also, Millennia a bad guy? Not really. Millennia was like probably the most gray character in that story.
I think just the dumb parts of the gaming community, or maybe you could change this to
Wait,
say
what was
I
that
think just
comment?
the dumb.
Female pro tag, hard pass. Sorry the woke crowd ruined it by shoving it down our throats for the past few years. Bye. Is that for the Hades 2 release? Yo, that Hades 2 character looks sick as fuck. This guy is fucking crazy. The guy in the comments is nuts.
Parts of the gaming community, or maybe you could change this to say that the broader gaming community usually reacts harshly to.
Yeah, well, the sequel for Hades 2 is I forgot her name. Like Artemis or something. I don't remember her name. I apologize. She's badass looking though.
Poorly written characters. But then again, some people also call female protagonists woke, which is also dumb. But that's like two sides of the same stupidity spectrum. It's like gamers don't like female characters, and having a female character is woke. It's like they're both equally dumb, which makes the Soulsborne community's embrace of female characters feel positive on the surface. When that attraction feels based on that empty, emotionless state or reduces them to infantilized waifus, you realize that hostility and that fondness spring from the same deep sexist roots, twins intertwined. Okay.
I think I understand what's going on here. I think I understand what's going on with this post. The person in this post who wrote this for, I'm guessing, Kotaku or some other fucking hyperbolic, like, place. They were like, what cavalcade, what collection, what organized assortment of words can I use to infuriate and inflame as many people as possible to get clicks on my fucking on my website? How many clicks can I farm to my website so people can read this fucking asinine, ridiculous post? That is the only other explanation for why this was written the way it was. Because it's just not right.
Fondness spring from the same deep sexist roots, twins intertwined. Okay, so a lot to unpack here. What I will say is the article's very well written. It has big words. I'm not saying it's good or I agree, but, you know, homie's been reading a thesaurus. But like, how From Software writes women. I mean, Firekeepers, yeah, they're kind of similar, but you can make that point. But they're all like motherly figures to represent the comfort of the hub zones. Which are typically an escape or refuge from the harsh environments outside.
Ah! What the fuck? What the fuck? What?
So yeah, it helps to have someone like mother you and cradle you. Like, I'm not sure what the point is or why Millennia, Blade of Mikola, is used as an example. This article comes across like a kid fresh out of college who's trying to prove themselves with what they think are mind-blowing assertions, but it's really just a bunch of dumb shit. From Software's female characters who deviate from this quiet, doll-like appearance are still written with a lack of emotionality, which feels close to masculine stoicism. Okay, so we can't have strong female protagonists because that's too masculine? Is that what you're saying? What? Why am I reading this? Soulsborne games
I'm
are
asking
infamous
the
for
same
challenging their
thing.
audiences and over the years have
Why
attracted
are we
a
reading
particular
this?
kind of player base, often men. What are you even upset about? What are you butthurt about? I don't get it. Millennia's boss fight is punishingly difficult, and the audience's hostility and competitive attitudes about it are often steeped in gendered toxicity. How? Numerous Reddit posts, YouTube videos, and tweets talk about players' failures or successes, while littered with sexist slurs, and one of these links goes to a search result on Twitter for Millennia, bitch. What is the... How can you be so good with words yet so dumb? People also fell back into the usual community discourse about which methods of beating her were more valid and which ones made you a pussy. And success over her took on a
I'm not gonna read, and you probably can read it if you're watching the video. I'm not gonna read what my friend just typed in chat, but lol, what the fuck?
weird masculinized chest beating at times.
I beat Millennia. No summons. Me have the biggest penis. Women suck.
Is that what you think we are? Is that what you think we're doing? When faced with a difficult, defiant woman who has never been beaten, men cannot help but fantasize about being the one to take her down. Or maybe...
Everyone, regardless of gender, is like, whoa, they've never been defeated? I want to do that. That doesn't matter what your gender is. Why do we keep bringing gender into it? Stop bringing gender into it. It's not gender-based.
Someone just wants to beat the hard boss, because it's a hard boss. Why is it men? Women can like these games too, you jack off. Women continue to populate the path as either passive helpmeets or predictable obstacles, which the fan base is all too happy to step over. I feel like every single complaint this person has, or point they're trying to make, could be applied to men as well. They either help you, or they don't. Speaking of Elden Ring, it recently won Game of the Year. And you know who wasn't too thrilled about that?
Hey, yo, so the Game Awards...
He's back! He's back!
...just ended, and Elden Ring took Game of the Year, and...
You can see it in his face. He is still so salty about it.
Not Quantum.
Right, I don't know how a game that didn't have any memorable characters that anybody could bond with...
Oh, my God.
Someone must extinguish thy flame. I command thee. You are maidenless.
I am Millennia, Blade of Mikola.
The only thing this game had was difficulty, and if you add an easy mode, half the player base would disappear.
Doesn't have, like, that's not true, though. You can out-level and out-gear everything. Like, you can literally you can play with friends. You can seamless co-op. Play with 4 people and beat a boss that was meant to be killed by 1 person. You can literally beat the game very easily. Been playing seamless co-op with a friend, and it's been really fun. And super fucking easy.
Here, but okay, whatever, yeah, that's Game of the Year.
Oh my God, dude, he's so butthurt. Why are you so butthurt about it?
The further we get down the years, it's just not going to be what people are expecting. It's not going to continue that same energy, bro, but hey.
You made this prediction like 10 months ago when it came out, and you were wrong as shit, dog. You were so wrong.
No Game of the Year, no real champion, just bare minimum. When real next-gen games come out, you'll be a footnote in a couple of months. Nobody will even talk about this game. ever
of the
even
year
mention it when we
winner
talk about the greats of
is
this generation.
Elden Ring.
That is a fact when the next generation cycle is said and done. Don't forget it, and remember I said it on this day.
I'll take things that aged poorly for 500.
Let's see what happens in 2023. How many of these Souls players will still be playing that game? Probably fucking zero, but okay, let's play the game.
Yeah, it was Game of the Year this year, but what about 2023, huh? What about next year? Is it gonna be Game of the Year then?
It's also the dumbest fucking take or the dumbest argument you could ever make because, like, Elden Ring isn't a live service game. It's like saying, oh, dude, like World of Warcraft? Wait until next year. I'll see who's playing World of Warcraft. Makes sense because, like, it's a live service game. You're meant to play it for, like, ever. Elden Ring is not meant to be played forever. It's meant to be played for, like, until you beat it, and then you can stop. Or you can play it again, like I am. Or you can play it with friends, or you can do other stuff. Like, that's the whole point in those games. Like, all those Dark Souls games are replayable and live on forever in people's minds. Every one of them.
And, you know what? Take your victory laps, have your fun.
Take your victory laps, baby. We got the W. We got it. Look at that. That's the freshest dub ever.
Whatever, Elden Ring Game of the Year, but we all know what happened, man. It ain't really a Game of the Year.
It ain't really a Game of the Year. It was, but it ain't really.
Nobody's gonna be playing that game. Bro, the game has already lost traction. It's already losing players.
Well, at least you stopped telling people to kill themselves. Let's hear more of Mr. TV's reactions to the Game Awards.
Now, as far as Game Awards and all that other stuff, I've had a lot of fun trolling a lot of the Elden Ring players. I think for me, it's been a very fun experience, I would say.
There's the kid.
Has it?
There's the kid. He
You guys
crashed
really
it.
sound like abuse victims, right?
It has been pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't fun for a bit, but it is now.
The biggest thing is just how easily they offend. They kind of make it easy to farm them for views, and I can say that shamelessly because they shamelessly attack other people that don't want to play the trial and error simulator that is their Game of the Year, which is fantastic, but it kind of leads me into, like, the Game Awards kind of was rigged.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, we all know the true winner was
My Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
It was either going to be Dad of War or Elden Ring, because those are the two most popular games right now.
Oh, yeah. For people who don't know, and people in my chat, Quantum TV is like one of the most toxic, crazy people I've ever read about ever. He was on this big thing, striking people down. Actually got the Ackman's channel taken down for a while. It was crazy. So yeah, that guy's nuts.
And the thing that held Dad of War back is it just didn't launch as early as Elden Ring to move as many units, to pick up as much press or whatever, and
Wasn't God of War Ragnarok like one of the fastest selling PlayStation games ever made? Yeah, it was.
I was pretty much like, yo, this game kind of sucks, I fucking hate it kind of thing. And then I saw the responses I was getting on my initial review. A lot of the people that were attacking were a lot of the socially awkward weirdos.
Look at all these socially awkward weirdos that like Elden Ring and attacking me because they don't have social skills.
They have no family, no friends, no life.
I'm never gonna like the game because I think, frankly, it would not have killed the developers to have respect for new players. Like, it takes 2 seconds to add a difficulty toggle.
It takes 2 seconds to add a difficulty toggle. You don't have to retool every encounter and just lower the numbers. That's it.
Somebody who has an easier life, who doesn't maybe have so much bullshit to deal with, they're not gonna care. They're gonna be, oh gosh, you're giving me.
See, this just comes off to me like this guy really sucks at video games. Like, really sucks, and he just couldn't figure out how to play Elden Ring. Like, that's what it comes off to me as. Like, he just could not figure out how to play that game.
The challenge, I live a boring life. Fantastic.
My life is so boring. If only fate would come along and fuck me in the ass.
With the Elden Ring gamers that like try to troll or whatever from time to time, and from me, I am an adult, and I do have responsibilities outside of YouTube and outside of video games and all this other stuff. So people, when they hear that, they just, sometimes when they don't have those things, it's a disconnect.
When I killed this fucking insectoid demon from space, I felt so good. This fucking demonic insectoid fucking thing was so hard to fight.
They're like, what do you mean you're busy with other stuff?
He's still basically reiterating if you like this game, you probably have no family, no friends, no life. He's still saying the same shit, dude.
So I think that's the first problem. The second problem with Elden Ring, I think, is the graphics.
Oh shit, here we go again.
The graphics are dog shit. The graphics are dog shit. The graphics are dog shit.
In the beginning, like when I first started Elden Ring and I was playing it, and I was like, man, this game kind of sucks. And then once I saw it was a bunch of 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds, like, oh, get good, scrub. I was like, okay, I see what this is. This is a bunch of kids living with their parents. This is what they do to challenge themselves outside of taking out the trash.
Bro just can't stop. Just stop throwing shade.
Stop it.
You guys will see. It'll be very fun for me next year. More TVs. You guys helped us fund Quantum TV by literally just trolling.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this video about the Game Awards or how much money you make?
Everybody who has been coming on and who have been ratioing, it's like, you've really done nothing but like literally just put money in my pocket, bro, like all day.
I can't watch anymore.
When GTA 6 was announced and they said they were going to have a female protagonist, again, people just kind of like lost their shit for no reason. You know, this is kind of where I draw the line when they start saying that Rockstar, the Rockstar Games, out of all companies, is going to start being woke. So this will be GTA 6, the woke edition. Bro, game's not even out. It's got a woman in it. How is that woke? Now, if they start saying, we're trying to be more politically correct in GTA 6, then maybe we can start going down that woke route. Bro, I mean, I would be shocked if Rockstar, of all companies, went woke. Or if they were like, nope, you can't kill hookers anymore. Can't kill women. You know, no. Dude, Rockstar Games have always pushed
That would be
boundaries.
hilarious,
they
though.
They do whatever they want.
It would be hilarious if they were like, yeah, in this new GTA, you play as a woman and you can't kill anyone who is the gender female.
Way with it, and they always have, and they always will. Female protag, hard pass. Sorry, the woke crowd ruined it by shoving it down our throats for the past few years. Bye. Okay, it's like, yeah, you can make fun of woke stuff. It does get annoying and tiresome, but that fucking Millennia article is kind of right sometimes. Like dumbasses just don't like female protagonists for whatever reason. I don't get it. Dude, calling everything sexist is just as cringe as calling everything woke. Can we agree on that? Like, can we at least try to have some, like, reasonable common sense?
No.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet criticism makes money.
100%.
There are still a large number of people that are shitting on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the Nintendo Switch in general. Yeah, I know, believe it or not, pretty crazy that they're milking the hell out of shitting on Nintendo. But hey, content's content.
Look, okay, we talked about this in the last video that we talked about with the Act Man. Scarlet and Violet deserves to be shit on. It's not a perfect game. It has great character narrative. Great storytelling. Mechanics are some of the best have ever been in the game. Removing things like set mode, removing modes in general, like, and rushing development of a game to the point to where the game runs like ass at all times. It deserves to be shit on. Like, it's not like you can't just get W's all the time, especially with a game that has as much money and clout and fucking developmental sacrifice as Pokemon does. People deserve to shit on the game when it does things wrong. Likewise, I say the things it does right. Like, it's doing a lot right, but it's still doing a lot wrong. For a AAA title release, it did a fuck ton of things wrong and is still doing a fuck ton of things wrong. The game still runs at like 15 FPS sometimes. That's crazy. Crazy.
Content's content. Yeah, it's YouTube, man. Something bad? Hey, look, that thing's bad. Here's my video on it. Something's awesome? Hey, that thing's awesome. Here's my video on it. Yeah, we make videos.
These experts, these social media influencers, these YouTubers, they have no merit. They have no ground.
No merit, no ground. I showed the gameplay of Scarlet and Violet. I think it speaks for itself. That's my merit. I've played Pokemon since Red and Blue, literally since the 90s.
There are people who've gone out and played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet after knowing it was a massive glitchy mess, knowingly paid $60 for this game, and then turned around and spent hours on a review just to shit on it. They weren't sent a pre-copy. They weren't sent a copy ahead of time.
People that get pre-copies don't shit on games like that. What? So you're upset that people are making bad reviews of a game like a month or two after it came out? Well, genius. Not everybody shits out a video in one day, okay? Sometimes it takes time. Maybe I don't want to play the game right away. Maybe a buddy convinces me.
They weren't sent a pre-copy. They weren't sent a copy ahead of time. They didn't buy the game, play it day one, and make a review. And
I mean, and also, like, when you hear a game launches with all these, and this is a really good example. I'm glad that he actually brought that up. When I heard, and Taco will tell you, when I heard that the game launched in such a buggy state, my brain was like, well, okay, I'm not going to play it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until they fix it. To give it a fair shot. I want to give it a fair shot. I'm going to wait until they fix the game. That ended up not happening because my friend bought it for me as a gift. But I would have waited until they fixed it completely before I ever hopped onto the game. And then I would have given it like a good, like, hey, this is good, this is bad, this is not. At launch, if it sucks as bad as it does, it deserves the criticism that it gets.
and it was out within the first week.
What does the timing have to do with anything? Of course people are going to be negative. It's like it's the internet.
These are individuals.
And 100% in the chat, like, you can love a game. It can have all of its problems and love a game. It's the same people who love World of Warcraft, same people who love Diablo, some people who love Final Fantasy XIV. With all the problems that the games have, there's enough good in those games that people love to talk about them and say they love them. There's a reason for it. You take the good with the bad, always. And Pokemon has a lot of good and has a lot of bad. There's, you know, we're just being objective here. Objectively, the game has a lot of good and has a lot of bad. A lot of games have that issue.
Who will literally go out, buy the game just to make content on it because it's trendy.
Why is it trendy? Is it because the game looks like this? Because that might be a good reason.
When they do these videos on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch and just shit all over it, say, oh, it's so underpowered, it's so garbage, it's so junk. It makes me think to myself, well, now, you know, this isn't a day one thing, so why are you doing this?
Remember, fellas, you can only criticize a game if you played it day one and reviewed it in one day. Bro, it's like I bought the game, I didn't play it for a bit, and then I played it, and then I was like, oh, this is really bad. So I made a video on it. It ain't that deep.
What do you gain by spending $60 on a game a month later after the game is released? What do you gain? Views, you gain content. Why would you make a video, a review? Why would you give a company $60 of your hard-earned money? Why would you spend $250 to $300 on a game console when you know, one, it's extremely underpowered?
Why would I spend money on a game console? Because I bought it 5 years ago.
I would never buy a console again if I could play every game on my computer. You buy a console because there's exclusives. If there wasn't such thing as an exclusive, I would never buy a console again in my entire life. I would play PCs only.
You have plenty of time in advance to know about the exact product you're purchasing. You still do it all. You do all of it. And then turn around and spend hours on a review just to shit all over it.
Why did I spend money on a game to review it? Because I'm not gonna steal it. Well, folks, it's been an interesting year, hasn't it? We've seen a lot of great video games and a lot of bad hot takes. That's about all I can handle right now. I'm gonna go get some bleach and pour it into my eyes now. So
I think I'll do the same.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did and subscribe to The Act Man for more awesome content. Alright everyone, that's all I got for today. This is The Act Man signing out. Peace!
If you're watching
It's always a
on
great
the
feeling.
stream,
Games come out, you'll be a
please
footnote.
go and follow this guy. He makes great stuff, and I love him very much. Everything he makes is 10 out of 10. Even when his opinions don't align with mine, his content's really good. We reviewed his last video. We reacted to the last video. We really liked it. Had a good time with it, even though we didn't agree.